Okay, last video of all the ancient Hebrew letters. Okay, so let's get started. Now, the next one that we have is called Quph. Quph. Okay, and it looks like that. Okay, circle with a line through it. Okay, and Mr. Benner has that circle, revolution, sun, horizon, time, because the sun goes in a revolution, comes up, goes down, comes up, goes down. The sun at the horizon, okay, at the horizon. Now, there's a couple of other forms here too. That one looks like a weird looking lollipop. And then this one right here looks like one of those old timey clacker balls, maybe, or something. I don't know. But those are two other forms of this one. Now, I also added on this one as it passes. Okay, because remember, we're looking at it through the ancient Hebrews' eyes. Okay, they had just experienced all the flood stuff and everything. So as it passes, in its path, okay, in its path, maybe this is a path, okay, same ecliptic plane, say that this was the ecliptic plane, okay. That's how they would most likely represent that Earth is in the same ecliptic plane as the object, or either the object is in the same ecliptic plane as Earth. Either way, I think that's a very good representation of that. Okay, this one over here, where the plasma bolts originate from, I associated that one with this right here because it's got like a downward motion here. Okay, and this one right here, over the overall shape of the object. Remember in Joel, where I think it's Joel 2, where he describes the object as having a something like a heart in the center of it that pumped out blue flames from the top and bottom. Okay, that may be describing this right here. Okay, Mr. Bender doesn't have a name for either one of these letters, but he's associating those with that Quph letter. He believes that this is probably the original way that was written. Okay, so here's the next one, Resh, and it looks like a funny little cartoon character with some kind of helmet on. Okay, and it's head of man, chief, because maybe he's got a helmet, maybe he's the chief or something. Top, first, beginning, the beginning. Okay, me, from our perspective, this is what I added: cover your head, because you remember when this thing passes, stuff starts raining down on people. So cover your head. Make ready. Prepare every person. Mankind. You would want everybody to know this. You would want everybody to prepare. You would want everybody to get prepared for this. Okay, let's look at the next one now. This one is Tav. Okay, now we've kind of talked about this one before here. Remember me talking about the bow? You got your aeronaut, you've got the your animal in your sight and everything, and your bow is straight up and down. Okay, and remember, you have there's like a little handle or something that you knock your arrow on. Okay, and for those of y'all that don't know anything about archery, when you say knock your arrow, that means you set it, like either on your thumb or a handle, and then you have it hooked to the bowstring. Okay, that's what knocking your arrow means right there. Okay, means mark, sign, signature. Mark, sign, signature. Now, from our perspective, our ancient Hebrew perspective, I'm taking this as like a bow. Okay, literally like a bow, because you have the bow up here, then you have the little platform that you rest your arrow on. Okay, so I'm saying take aim on the mark or target, pointing to, on the path of, shooting arrows, in the sights of, hunting, tracking, on target, on target. Okay, now Mr. Bender says that this in a later form turned to this right here. Now, like I was saying before, when we talked about the other letter with the little X mark, I kind of disagree with him a little bit on that one. Maybe, I mean, I could be totally wrong about that, but I believe that X is, like I say, somebody bringing their bow down for no shot. No. Okay. This one right here means, yeah, you're on target. You got a good aim. You're ready to shoot. This one right here means no shot. Okay. So like I said, I could totally be wrong about that, but the next one, now this now these letters right here are very interesting, and there's still a mystery to me how they're all interrelated. Okay, I've got like a little theory of it, but it's real. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, but I don't know if you can see that, but that shin makes the sh sound. Okay, that's the ancient form of the letter. Remember the two teeth right there. And then this is the way that you write it like in modern Hebrew. Okay, so you come over, up, and then that, and then the shin, the dot is over here. Okay, this one right here is Samech, and sin. And it's not like like you go sin, or whatever. It doesn't really mean that. It's just the name of the letter, really. But these two right here have the s sound. Okay, and they're written like this. This is actually the modern. This is actually that's actually the modern way to write it. And that's Samech, and that is the sin. You write it exactly like this one, only except the dot is over here. Okay, so those two are interrelated, right there. He also has these other forms. Okay, he has this funny looking thing right here. He calls it a thorn, and then there's our fish again. Here's another thorn. Boy, I really hate to get stuck by that daggum thorn right there. And then a window. Okay. And the meaning of shin, two front teeth, two, again, both, second, or press. You press stuff with your teeth. Okay. Now, I've added some to these. looking from our perspective, two things always together. Okay, we know that every time this object passes, it passes, and then there's a debris trail that comes along with it. There's always two. There's always two events. Okay, and remember they're 5 months apart, 150 days apart. So two things always together. Twins. Usually your two front teeth look exactly the same. One right after the other. Yeah, that would make sense from our perspective. Okay, two things moving together. Two things moving together in unison. Okay, now that right there, I'm going to talk about a little bit in the Noah's flood video whenever I get it finished. Okay, but that's Shin. Okay, let's look at Samech and Shin. You notice how I do the same sound as like when we say chet. Okay, that's the way Hebrews pronounce the ch, is like that. So they would pronounce this is, they wouldn't say sandwich, like go get me a sandwich. Hey honey, give me a well, hey honey, give me a sandwich. Sometimes I say sandwich, but they say samech. Okay, and then of course sin right there. Okay, samech and sin. Okay, so these two basically mean pierce, sharp, shield, wall, grab hold, or cling. Okay, now then, from our perspective, from the ancient Hebrew perspective, objects seen as it approaches the sun. Okay, I attached that one to this one right here. Okay, because there are several depictions, like in paintings and things, of this exact object. There's one that the ancient alien people love to use because I think it's a painting of the crucifixion, and then it's got this little shape right there with a little man in it painted into it. So it's really neat. You look that one up. Penetrate, break through. Penetrate, break through. Now I associated penetrate and break through with this one here. Okay, because if you notice, okay, you got three things here, and it looks like something is going through, piercing through. Okay, piercing through. So looking through the ancient Hebrews' eyes, they would just witness all the flood stuff, everything. What would this have any more meaning? Yeah, I think it does. I think this one right here is probably the most illustrative of all these right here, because the way it looks like we have some downward motion here through these three things. What could these three things be? Well, maybe this one is the canopy. Maybe this one is the flood water. And maybe this one is the land or the earth's crust. Now, what do you think of that? That would make sense, wouldn't it? It sure would. Especially associated with the sound that they make. How do you think something coming through the atmosphere, like a meteorite coming through the atmosphere, how would that sound? it would sound like because it's heated up. It's heated up and it's going fast. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. With the Shin, it's got the sh sound. Okay. So maybe that's had something to do with the first event, because when the object comes by, there's usually a drought, and I'm sure there's a lot of wind, like turbulence and everything. How does the wind sound? So that's just a theory. That's just a theory right there. Okay. Um, one other little theory that I have is, we know that Sin is written like this with the dot over here. Shin is written like that with the dot on the other side. Okay. So what if we wrote these two like that? How would we distinguish those? How would somebody distinguish between Shin and Sin using this? Well, let's look. Let's see. I'm gonna put it right down here. Okay. So let's kind of block this off. So if we have this and we call this Shin, and we have this and we call this Sin, okay, what about this? What about if at some point in time they did this, like that, and that represented Shin, and they, for Sin, they did this? I don't know. This would represent the first event here, and this would represent the second event. Two different sounds. Shh, like a real strong wind sound for the first, and a s, something coming through the atmosphere really, really fast for the second. Like I say, that right there is just, that's just me kind of, kind of going off a little bit right there. But yeah, that's it. That's all the letters. I actually saved all these for last. These all these weren't in order. Like I say, I saved those for last because they're so unique, and they're incorporated within each other. And like I say, it's still a mystery to me. I still haven't pinpointed, how those are really put together. Now I'm pretty sure about this one right here, but this letter is not used anymore. So, well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed all these. I hope you learned something. And now then, I'm going to be working on that Genesis 1:1 video. And as always, I hope that you really enjoy the videos. I get kind of goofy sometimes and everything, but the information, I definitely want to get out there to everybody, because everybody needs to know about this. Okay, it is definitely coming, and we have got to be prepared. Okay, so please join me. Marlon, please join me on Truth Social. Just look me up, Jim from Alabama, and join me over there. Join my channel over there on Rumble. And if at all possible, Please donate so I can keep bringing these videos to y'all. I've got a ton of material that I've got to do videos on. Okay, so need some resources to help do that. So thank y'all so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, God bless you. Bye.